Hey, what's up, guys? And first of all, if you haven't seen the new episode of What If Naruto Was Wang Ling, it's out on Anime King 3, so go ahead, check out that and enjoy. So welcome back to Anime King, and I'm back with part 3 of What If Naruto trained solo seriously from the beginning. Remember to get this one too 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also, guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels if you're new. Yes, I indeed have 3 more channels which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. All the links will be down in the description, so go ahead and obliterate that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. So without further ado or wasting any more time, how about we jump right into this? Let us begin now, guys. So the last part that we left off, facing the demon brother were easy, as Naruto and Sasuke, their own rivalry had pushed them to extreme heights. They've evolved. They've transcended their natural strength a long time ago. As they kept on going, refusing to count on one another, which made things a bit more intense for them. Even against Zabuza Momochi, Zabuza, a demon, a monster, was up against children that could be this strong. It was ridiculous. They trained there and they got stronger. They evolved as they kept on growing and growing. As Naruto and the others came across Zabuza once again on the bridge. This time though, this was a battle for survival. If they mess up, they would die. An intense battle took place. Ferocity, rage, as Naruto arrived to save Sasuke, proving that his skills are much different, greater perhaps. Naruto went toe-to-toe with Haku. A brutal battle ensued between the both of them. While Haku's speed was a problem because he was moving from one to another mirror, Naruto decided to use his brain though. As Naruto was able to catch Haku, the moment he did, it was over. Physical stature, Naruto was a tier above the rest. As he showed that, he obliterated Haku, holding him hostage for Zabuza to give up, as Naruto forced Zabuza to kill none other than Gato, who was already here to betray him, using that to his advantage. With that, Team 7 left as heroes. Yes, they left as heroes. We also get to see a flash from the past, with a man known as Genma. Genma was trying to plead to the Uzumakis. He wanted them to listen, but they would not. He wanted them to survive, but the Uzumakis believed that they would be safe, believing that the arts that Genma was studying was becoming too problematic. This is where Rukia came from, the new girl who introduced herself to Naruto as a friend and as an ally, telling him that he shouldn't tell anyone about the Uzumakis being alive, as Naruto decided to keep the secret. Unfortunately though, he wasn't able to see Rukia not even once after that. Months went by and Naruto thought that it was a hallucination, a dream. But we get to see Rukia speaking with someone that Genma had spoken to in the past. His name was Daigo. Daigo seemed to be in charge, as he was the one that told her what to do. And she respected his words without hesitation, But Daigo was also there on that day as well. When he spoke to Genma about the survival of their clan, something much bigger was going on. Genma also, well, him and his wife were planning to have children, and they already picked out names. If they had a girl, they would call her Kushina Uzumaki. The Chunin exam came around. Once that came to the main part, where Naruto went against Orochimaru, a fiend if there ever was one, a monster. While Naruto proved to be stronger than most, physically and mentally, able to keep up, able to keep on going, Orochimaru was a different kind of monster, as he proved that he was still far superior. However, that is when we saw Rukia and two others. Turns out that she was not alone, she was there with a team. But their features were different, no longer sporting their red hair and their red eyes, as Uzumakis they were. They all make their way towards a forest distance. They perform a sealing art that Orochimaru was captured in and they send him away, far away from Konoha. Things like this does not exist in this day and age. That was something from the past. Orochimaru became suspicious. It seems like someone was watching over this boy. He was curious about it all. Rukia gave something to Naruto, as he demanded to know everything, because they were constantly lying to him. So she gave him a scroll. This was no normal scroll. This was his birthright. This was an example of what he was. That is when Naruto learned that what he can do was special in a very different way. It was a bloodline. Shinkawa Pulse. Turns out that Naruto was not bound like normal shinobis. He was able to understand the different elements in a way that normal shinobis can't. Combine them. While that might not seem special at first, that was just a tiny taste of it all. They did not believe he was ready just yet. As the lore behind this was so vast, there's a reason why they spoke about Naruto in such high praises. A reason why his very blood was special to them. So yeah guys, basically that's what I thought. If you guys can switch across to play check out for yourselves to begin this new episode. Naruto's mind was still going through it. From his discovery of his bloodline that was so strange and complex. From his battle with Orochimaru, which made him realize just how much of a monster people can be. Not in terms of him being evil, but in terms of his raw intensity, his power. Naruto stood no chance against him and he knew that. He needed to become stronger. Over the past few months, Naruto had noticed a change within himself. Yes, before, he said it himself that he never truly cared that much about the people of Konoha. If they despise him, he would just go with it. However, befriending his team, even his rivalry with Sasuke, it made him wonder if he was doing this because of his team or was he warming up to the idea of being a part of the village more than he thought. He truly did not know. But he realized just how strong Orochimaru was. And he knew that he's been getting stronger, but it's been slow. Then again, he was a child, facing one of the most dangerous men in the entire world. However, Naruto knew that he did not survive by dumb luck. He felt it, the strange chakra. He felt the strange sensation that almost overwhelmed him. Someone saved him, there was no doubt about that. Naruto saw the look in Orochimaru's eyes. He was caught off guard. He was not prepared for the strange teleportation either. It made Naruto wonder just who was it. Rukia immediately came to his mind. From what he learned so far, Uzumakis were well adapted in the sealing arts. But why? Why save him just to run away? Since she gave him the scroll about his so-called bloodline, there has been nothing. What was this to them? Was it a game? Were they testing him? He wasn't a fan of that. He's kept her secret. No one has known that the Uzumakis have returned. He himself did not know the full extent to any of this. Hey! Naruto was snapped out of his thoughts, as he was not exactly in a place where he could, well, go into his deep thoughts right now because he was in the center of it all. The preliminaries were currently taking place. Sasuke having already fight, as he was overwhelmed by the curse mark in the end, but he still won. Naruto stood there. Kiba Inuzaka was standing in front of him, as he was in the preliminaries to fight. Are you even listening to me? Naruto gazed upwards. There was a team here from the Hidden Frost. Yes, they survived the chaos in the first round and then the Forest of Death. There was something about them that Naruto did not understand. Something that feels so strange. He didn't know why. A girl, white hair, dark eyes. She smiled at him in a strange way like she knew him. The two other boys were mostly covered. Despite not within their village climate, they wear such covered clothing. The land of frost, covered in snow as well. They watched him in a strange way, like they knew him. Hey, Kiba said as he got pissed. Naruto was always alone in the academy. He knew Kiba, but they weren't really friends that much. I'm hearing you, said Naruto. Enough of this. Kiba said, fine. We'll just take you down without you knowing that you're being bested by the Alpha. He dashed forward. It's over, Kurenai thought to herself. She had high praise for Kiba, and Naruto made the first mistake that would be his last. He was allowing Kiba to get too close. Hand to hand, Naruto would stand no chance. None at all. Hinata watched as she secretly cheered Kiba on. She knew Naruto as well, but Naruto was a very quiet person, maybe even more quiet than herself. While he's been trying to step out with his team to learn how to socialize even more, as he told the Hokage something he wasn't fond of. He was, well, new to it, and the people in the academy did not know him rather well, thus they underestimate him. Lee, on the other hand, having sparred with Naruto when they almost ripped the training ground in half, was upset. He wanted to be the one to fight Naruto. Well, he will make it to the finals and they will fight. Kiba, he decided to fake Naruto out as he swift on his heel, turning and spinning a kick to Naruto's temple. The entire place paused. Judging by Kiba's speed, they expected Naruto to be out for the count, but Naruto casually grabbed his leg. He looked Kiba in the eyes. It wasn't disrespect, it wasn't like he was pitying him, it was straight facts. You're not stronger than me. You're not faster than me. It's over, said Naruto. It's best if you give up. Kiba smirked though as Akamaru launched at Naruto, only for Naruto's other hand to shot out and grab the puppy mid-ear. He tossed Akamaru away. You bastard, Kiba said. Becoming more feral in Naruto's grip, he spun, slamming his hands on the ground, but Naruto blocked his leg. Kiba flipped, but Naruto was in front of him, having cleared the distance in a matter of seconds. Naruto's fist buried into his gut. The next moment, a surge of chakra, something that only Hyugas should be capable of in this, well, their young age, blasted Kiba to the wall, his head hitting against it as he passed out. Neji Hyuga stood there, remembering Lee talking about this one. Neji was, well, he found it pathetic that Lee would waste his time with someone beneath him, making Lee look weaker in his eyes, but how was he capable of doing that? Had this one mastered his chakra in such a way, despite not being a Hyuga, to be able to do precise strikes like that? The release of chakra was on point, it was no mistake. Naruto simply walked over as the proctor announced him the winner. Kurenai was stunned by the defeat. Naruto watching ninjas from the frost. Everyone might think that the two boys were weak, but Naruto saw it. He didn't know why. Maybe it was in his eyes. That is when he realized that it was his sensory. But he was never able to sense this deep of emotion before. He could feel their hesitation through their strikes. Yet, they made it seem like they were trying their best. The complexity of doing all of that was not any genuine level. Naruto could feel the disturbance in their chakra as well, masked and covered in a way that most normal sensors would not be able to. As the others were gathering, Naruto stepped forward and grabbed the hand of the girl. She paused and turned towards him. "Hello there. Can I help you?" she said. He looked her directly in the eyes. No words, no thoughts. He just looked her in the eyes. As he said the name, Rukia. She stiffened for a second. But the smile returned. She leaned forward, her hand draping around his, as she whispered in his ear, "You're better than I thought." With that, she walked away. Here it was another opportunity to inform the village that the Uzumakis were alive, that they were up to something, yet he did absolutely nothing. This was no mere transformation. This was something more complex. Could it be Fuinjutsu? It had to be, Naruto thought to himself. But she was the only one that passed through to the final rounds, while the other two gave up. Time skip. Him and Sasuke were in for the finals. But Naruto did not need any help. Sasuke, on the other hand, begrudgingly took Kakashi's help, learning the Chidori, but Naruto did not want that. Days. Until he was interrupted. Naruto had ditched Ebisu, finding the man to be nothing but a waste of his time. Teaching him how to walk on water, Naruto already knew how to do that. It wasn't hard. However, someone else came stalking around. The person was caught off guard when they were noticed. "I know you're there." They stepped out of the foliage. "How?" "I'm a censor." Jiraiya didn't take that answer lightly. Yes, Naruto was a censor, but Jiraiya's hiding skills were different. It wasn't just about being sensed. "Why have you been watching me?" said Naruto. "Well, don't you know who I am?" He went on with this big show of an introduction, but Naruto was already walking away. Wait. Every once in a while I choose a pupil. And you, my friend, I've seen your determination and decided to choose you." Naruto looked at the man for a long moment, watching him very carefully, observing every move that he made. Remember, Naruto told himself that the fourth Hokage could not be his father. No father would do that to their children and die. And besides, where was the people that were supposed to be in his father's life? Kakashi Hatake was one of them. Jiraiya was one of them. Naruto knew the man the moment he arrived. From pictures, that is. Naruto tried his best with Kakashi. He never brought it up. He never made it look like he despised or hated him. He was always neutral, always respectful. This was no coincidence. Why would a Sanin want to train someone like him, having no idea who he was, just taking a liking to him? Either he was a pervert or he was trying to get close to him. But Naruto was also trying to learn more as well. But Naruto didn't want that much help from him. His stubbornness to get strong on his own was strong. Very, very strong. But he did need a few key information. "Fine, you can help me." Jiraiya blinked. "You're making it seem like I'm the one that is getting something out of this. I am Jiraiya, the Toad Sage. Most people would pay every single of their life savings to me to train their offspring or even train them. You should be lucky, you brat, he said. You said you saw something that you desire to train. But I don't need your help. So you seen something special is on you, said Naruto. I didn't say special, said Jiraiya. I add that one in. Do my words sound disrespectful to you? Yeah, pretty much. I apologize. I'm not used to speaking with people like you. What do you mean people like me, said Jiraiya. You're loud. You're excited. You're overwhelming. Ah, I see. So it's just you being hard to communicate. Exactly. Jiraiya remembered what Hiruzen had said as he shrugged it off. Well then, kid, it's your lucky day, he said as he toned it down a bit. By the way, you should be honored. What Jiraiya soon come to learn that Naruto basically tried his best to avoid him in certain areas. He got what he desired. Jiraiya felt like he was used, like a cheap prostitute. Getting the information that he desired, Naruto was dodging him and training on his own. Jiraiya believed that he was doing some dangerous things that he knew he shouldn't be doing. That is why he was hiding from him. But Naruto's mind was occupied with other things. When Jiraiya tracked him down though, he was surprised. What do you mean you don't want to sign the Toad summoning contract? I mean I don't want to sign it, said Naruto. What can these so-called Toads do? Can they even fight? Jiraiya was taken aback. Naruto had to listen as the Sanin went on for what seemed to be maybe 3 hours about how awesome the Toads were. As much as Naruto liked to receive information that would help him, receiving handouts were something else entirely. Maybe. It came from him realizing a long time ago that one can only count on themselves. Despite receiving help from others before, this was not something that he wanted to take. And Jiraiya tried, but Naruto refused constantly, believing that there was something out there for him. When it came to a summoning animal, something more special, Jiraiya was not happy though, refusing to give up until Naruto eventually signed the contract. They had time. The Chunin exams came around though. As Naruto saw her, he made sure to arrive early as he pulled her aside. She followed him. So, what's up, she said. Naruto was pissed. You're angry. Of course I am. You gave me that scroll about my bloodline, just the first draft of it. Most of it I find rather confusing. After that you leave and you don't show up again. Tell me, it was you, wasn't it? The one that saved me from Orochimaru in the forest. Shh, no one can know about that. Why? What's the big secret? Is this a game? Is this some kind of manipulation? Using this so-called need for family that I still somehow possess to try and control me? Are you after something else? Do you even care about me, said Naruto. Her face became completely serious. Even Naruto was taken aback. Listen to me. You are a Uzumaki, and we don't abandon our own. Then where the hell have you people been, said Naruto. That's complicated. I am not the one that will give you that information, but just wait. Soon enough everything will be revealed. When? You keep on saying that. When? Naruto said. I can't tell you that, she said. I'm tired of you people. Always having a scheme, always something else. First it was being the Jinchuriki, and now this. Why must I always go through something that I never do myself? You know what? Screw you. Wait, you have to. I said screw you, said Naruto. He was tired of this manipulation. Tired of these games, tired of these quests that they seemed to put him on. Like they were testing his loyalty. Family don't put family through that. Naruto walked away. The urge to call out to him, to stop him, to tell him that. She bit her tongue. It wasn't her place. It wasn't her place. She thought to herself. She watched him. She observed him, even as they all gathered. Even as the first battles took place, he didn't speak to her, he didn't look her way. He just remained quiet. A lot was going through Naruta's mind. He hated being manipulated, he hated being used, put through trials and tribulations. His body was running on autopilot, even as his emotions spiraled. Naruto wasn't usually a vocal person, yet his discussion with Neji, it was able to break through that shell of his. When Neji talked about fate, Naruto cursed at him, refusing to believe that they were one, because if he do, that would mean he had no control. They argue. Most people were affected by their argument. It was strange, but it was like two sides. One believing that they had control over their own life. Multiple people there believe in the, opposite. The Hyugas, even some within the crowd, they were destined for one thing. Most believing that they were just civilians, they would never truly desire anything above being a civilian. To think that two children could have this much of an impact. Under his veil, Orochimaru observed and watched, looking out as he tried to see if there was someone else, a protector or guardian, but he saw none. Even Jiraiya find himself gazing down towards Naruto differently. Neji's world felt shattered as Naruto started to bombard his beliefs. He had enough, proving that fate was on his side, proving that he would win. Yet, Naruto didn't allow him. He brought his fist down. The earth split open. At first it might seem like raw strength, but it was not. It was earth manipulation to the finest level. Rukia was stunned. How could he reach this far in such a short amount of time? That was similar to what he did to me, Lee thought. But it didn't seem to be under his control back then. It seems that Naruto-kun was learning fast, Lee thought with a smile. Neji though bested the ground as he climbed up, leaping from the side to the side. But Naruto met him. Fool, many of them thought. Fighting a Hyuga hand to hand was a death sentence. The problem was, Naruto draw his hand across the ground and shield them with the earth. The first attack, Neji pierced through it. It doesn't matter, said Neji. Your rocks cannot stop my chakra. When Neji burst through the second one, it's over, he said. Only for Naruto to grab his hands, stunning everyone. That is when Neji saw it. At first, he thought that it was just plainly his hands, but somehow Naruto chakra had covered his hands in a way that was so perfect it was hard for even the Byakugan to even see through it. Naruto pulled Neji and slammed his head into his, stunning the Hyuga. Their battle raged as Neji found himself being pushed back. He found himself staggering, overusing his Byakugan, trying to keep up. He wasn't this fast. Not too long ago, Lee thought. Stunned by Naruto's speed as Naruto moved across the arena. Neji spun. Rotation. Stunning the Hyugas. However, Naruto jumped forward. Lightning release, he said. He went through just 2 hand signs. Something that should not be possible. For it to be that shortened. He simply controlled the lightning, but the manipulation was not the hand signs. He did that on his own. No genin, not even some Chunin can even reach this level of control when it came to their chakra. But it was not just a chakra, it was the element. Rukia watched, astonished. But it wasn't only her. Eyes were all over the place. Naruto bombarded the rotation with a lightning spear. They struck against it, but Neji kept on spinning. But Naruto had chakra to burn. He fired them into the air, several of them, as he went forward and slammed his hand into the rotation. Neji started to feel the rotation slowing down. Naruto chakra reacting the opposite way, trying to spin it out, trying to overcome it. Neji stopped it though and slammed both hands in Naruto's chest. However, as Naruto was knocked back, he smiled. Why are you... Neji screamed! He was zapped from the heavens by the lightning spears. Immediately he collapsed. But his blow to Naruto's chest should have kept Naruto down, but yet, he stood tall. Yes, he stood tall as he looked down towards him. Naruto picked him up by the shirt. Neji thought that he was in for a moment of beating. I told you, there is no such thing as fate. We make what we want. I've spent my life believing that it was as well. Trust me, I know where you're coming from. Believing that our destiny is tied to something, believing that we can't overcome it. But there is nothing that can stop us. As long as we believe we can overcome everything, everyone, all the weakness, all the pain. It is only a footstep, one after another, to break through it all. Because if we don't, we will be stuck. But I refuse to be stuck, said Naruto. I won't allow it. Neji was stunned as Naruto dropped him. The proctor jumped down. Neji had no chance of moving. The electricity messed with him badly. They rushed him off to the infirmary. The final thing that he witnessed was Naruto standing there. The people exploded in cheers. Naruto thought he would feel happy. He thought he would feel overjoyed. However, that conversation with Rukia, it brought up back old feelings of the villagers. Old feelings, old words that always said by him. If they don't like me, I don't like them either. If they don't care for me, I don't care for them either. Thus he walked away. No celebration, he just walked away. He won and it was over. Rukia could see the shift. She gazed upwards towards where the Hokage booth was. Her eyes meeting someone's. The person just looked at her. Said nothing in return though. As the other matches took place, Sasuke arriving late. However, his match was against Gaara. Naruto had noticed that Kankuro had gave up when he was supposed to fight Rukia. He watched her, but she wasn't looking at him now. When chaos ensued as the invasion began, Naruto looked around as Rukia was gone. He jumped down. 3 sound shinobis immediately took their sight on him. Going through hand sign, Naruto was stopped as something passed his vision, a blur, taking them down. He looked around but saw nothing. What the hell? Kakashi called out to him as he gathered a team to go after Sasuke to help him with Gaara. Naruto made his way out there. Sasuke lost control, and Gaara took advantage of that. Gaara thought that it was over. Sakura threw 3 kunais with explosive tags, lighting him up. However, his sand proved to be a bit stronger as it shot towards her. Naruto moved her out of the way. As he landed on the branch, the others had stopped to face the Sound Ninjas and Kankuro. Temari. She was afraid as Gaara had sent her through a tree. Gaara smiled when he saw Naruto, remembering him from when they met. He lashed out. However, Naruto was too angry to pull any punches. Watching was 3 pair of eyes, and they were waiting. Observing and waiting, Naruto sent Gaara sailing through a tree. Naruto looked towards him with nothing but pity. Gaara was pissed, rageful. You're a Jinjulki like me. Yet, you're making the world see us as what they think us to truly be. Monsters. I am a monster, Gaara said. Or are you being easily controlled and manipulated? You're willing to hurt the ones that actually love you. Siblings that will stand by your side no matter what. That is why I'm gonna hurt you. For them, I don't care about them nor do I know them, but They're willing to stand by your side no matter what, and yet you put your sister through a tree. What do you think you're gonna have after all of this? Do you think you're gonna have anyone? You're gonna be alone. And that is when you will truly be swallowed by your madness. You don't understand, Gaara said. That's the only way to live as one of us. To be alone, to be powerful. You're right. I train alone and I am powerful. But if I had some people like that by my side, people that actually care, I think I would be more stronger. But I find myself hard to trust anyone nowadays, Naruto said. But you're right about training alone though. But that doesn't give you the right to accept this part of yourself, to be so weak and pathetic. You have people that love you and yet you turn your back on that. Naruto was dealing with his own conflict inside which was coming out. Gaara had enough and attacked him. As Naruto went toe to toe with him, Temari was stunned. How was this? Electricity gathered as Gaara was struck. The pain unbearable. He was losing control. Naruto felt the chakra going ballistic. Suddenly, 4 members landed around Gaara. Their hand signs were fast, insanely so. The moment their hand touched him, Gaara screamed as all the power seemed to be forcefully pushed back in, as a seal rested over his. Naruto raised his hand ready to fight. Yet, one of them stepped towards him, calm as ever as he took off the mask. He stepped forward, his red hair swaying in the wind. As the other 3, they did something while they were talking to Naruto. Temari fell unconscious. They did something to her as well. Naruto could not see as the guy stood in front of him. I understand your frustration. As Naruto looked into his eyes, I understand the answers that you want. The questions that you have. He said, reaching into his robes and pulling out a scroll. As he handed it to Naruto, I know that you're upset, but don't give up. We're preparing, and we are coming. For you, because you are one of us, and we don't abandon our own. Another one moved towards Sasuke. What the hell are you doing? Helping him. Naruto watched as he placed a scroll on Sasuke's neck, literally wrapping it around it. Naruto could feel the hum of the chakra. He then heard a scream as Naruto saw Orochimaru being pulled out of the scroll. What the hell? It was a seal. The seal on Sasuke's neck was now on the scroll and Orochimaru was being pulled out. Was he trying to force himself out? Until another Uzumaki went through hand sign as well. The Sannin was pulled inside. The man in front of him, eyes that looked so hypnotic. We are not your enemies, he said. With that, they all vanished, leaving Gaara. Gaara was battered, not physically. His body felt like it was just drained, but his mind felt like it was hit from all angles. He lay there on the ground as Naruto stepped towards him. Are you gonna kill me? Said Gaara. He did not have the strength to fight back. Naruto sat down. I should. You are our enemy. However, I can also sense Orochimaru's power. I fought him in the forest. I'm not sure what is going on, why he's here, but I sense the same power from the so-called Kazekage, which makes no sense unless Orochimaru is the Kazekage. I'm not sure what is going on, but I know that you're just angry. You want to fight because you think that's the only reason to go on, the only reason to continue. And now, I am even more confused than ever before. Naruto said, getting to his feet. I might never have someone that would truly be there. If I'm truly just being used for who I am. Do yourself a favor. Look at the person that loves you. Those that would die for you, said Naruto, despite what you are. For the first time, Naruto truly, genuinely wanted someone to change and see what they have. Maybe it was his own self-doubt about everything that was going on. Naruto picked Sakura and Sasuke up, using his clones to his advantage. As he left Gaara, Gaara-san came out and picked up his siblings, carrying them away in their unconscious state. Meanwhile, Hiruzen was on his last leg. It's over for him, he thought to himself, as he proceeded to commit the ultimate sacrifice. However, the two Anvus that were outside were watching strangely. There were 6 of them in total right there, but 2 of them were not who they were supposed to be. What are you doing? One of them shouted, seeing him reaching up to touch the barrier, but if you touch it, you would be... What the hell? The 2 strange Anvus that were so quiet. They got inside. How? 4 blurs went by them, the other 4 outside. Meanwhile, Hiruzen was ready until chains shot out from all different areas, stabbing through the first and the second. Them being nowhere near full power, they were restrained, but they were pulling themselves out of it though. That was until 2. It was the same 2 Anvus placed their hand on their back. Orochimaru felt his connection breaking. The sword split from his mouth. He moved forward only to having to stop as he clashed with the same man that spoke to Naruto earlier. Blade against blade. I found you, Orochimaru. Orochimaru's entire body trembled in absolute fear. He seemed terrified, more terrified than just having fought Hiruzen Sarutobi. Something was wrong, gravely so, as he gazed into those eyes. He seemed to know exactly who this is and know exactly what was going on. Orochimaru looked around. Daigo stood there rather calmly. There's nowhere to run. You trapped yourself in here with me. It's already over. Orochimaru looked to his blade as he saw the Fuinjutsu markers. He immediately spit another Orochimaru from his mouth, as the markers had already reached his hand. Hiruzen watched as they all move against him. Chains, chakra chains. Uzumakis? Hiruzen said fearfully, as they restrained him. Complex seals that Hiruzen did not understand. Orochimaru screamed for the barrier to be dropped. He screamed for them to... The Sannin was teleported away. So were the others, leaving only one. Daigo fully turned, removing the hood completely, allowing his hair to be on full display as he wasn't wearing the mask. Hiruzen narrowed his eyes. You're an Uzumaki? Yes. And we know the truth. Not the one that you tell to the public. We know the reality of everything. Hiruzen immediately became fearful as a name came to his mind. Genma. Oh, he's dead. You people made sure of that, didn't you? It wasn't you were a part of it, Daigo said. All of you. You thought you exterminated us. You thought you got rid of the threat. No longer having to be fearful while you keep one of our own under your rule. I want you to know. We had to stay away for a while, but I want you to know that we're alive. I want you to know that we're here. You will never risk harming Naruto Uzumaki for more reasons than one. But you never thought that the truth would return. How would he react knowing all you people did, all this world did, to his own mother, to his people, even those that claim to be friends, protectors? You've lied to him his entire life. I want you to know, I want you to see my face. Just like the past where you make us be the praise. Now we're going to switch. We will be your predator. I want you to try your best. Do as you must. Try your best to hide him. Try your best to manipulate him. But know this. We will take him. And he will learn the truth. And there's nothing you can do that would stop that. Hiruzen stood there as Daigo vanished. Hiruzen knew exactly what they wanted. They wanted him to try to manipulate Naruto to their side. Then when Daigo comes, he will tell him the truth. Well, his version of the truth. Truths that Hiruzen wanted to die with. They wanted him to further corrupt Naruto's mind by telling him some of the truth and leaving out some. So when the time comes, or perhaps it was more complicated than that, after all these years, he never thought that this would ever return. The barrier dropped, as the Sound 4 could no longer sense Orochimaru. The original Anvus were immediately on their way. The Sound 4 emerged. They were confused. Where was he? They didn't understand, but the Anvus were there and the Hokage was standing there. Despite looking, well, strangely stiff, they ran off, running away not knowing what was going on. The moment the Anvus arrived, Hiruzen shouted, "Find Naruto Uzumaki now and make sure he's safe." They did not hesitate as they ran off. Within the shadows, Rukia watched, observed, and waited. She just watched until she received word from the earpiece. "I got them. I got them all. Leave now. The Hokage is free." She returned back to her view. As she proceeded to close her eyes, strange Fuinjutsu markers were plastered on buildings, allowing her view all over. They immediately started to erase themselves, as they got what they wanted. The next moment, one of the members of her team arrived as they both left the village. As for Naruto, he was surrounded before he knew it. He sensed them coming, but it was the Anvus. "What do you want?" said Naruto. "Shouldn't you be by the Hokage's side?" They looked at him, but they did not answer, as they escorted him back. Chaos was wrapping up. The village was overcoming their oppressors. The One Tail did not erupt. The sand was retreating out of fear. Without Gaara, they stood absolutely no chance against Konoha. None in the slightest. Speaking of, when Temari and Kankuro opened their eyes, they were surprised. "Gaara?" Temari said. However, it was the words that came from him. "I'm sorry." Meanwhile, Hiruzen landed beside Jiraiya. "It's over?" Jiraiya questioned. "No, far from it." "Why do you look like you've seen a ghost?" "Well, I've seen multiple today, but the most concerning one." "Do you remember Genma Uzumaki?" Jiraiya's heart froze. He's dead." "Yes, he is, but his faction is still alive. That part of the Uzumakis, they were all wiped out." "No. They took Orochimaru, and they're after Naruto." Does he know?" "No, but they want to use us to make him distrust us even more. by telling him the truth after all these years, or lying to him possibly. Jiraiya was concerned. He thought those were names that wouldn't ever come up ever again, but they were back. You see, many people thought that the Uzumakis were just the Uzumakis, a clan from the Hidden Whirlpool land. No, there were two factions. One led by the former leader, who died during the attack. Then you had a faction that was led by Genma. Genma was a man that only wanted peace and prosperity, the safety of his clan. But as stated before, everything changed when his younger brother was killed. Everything. And Genma created something terrifying. There's a reason why Naruto could find no information about the Uzumakis. Konoha could have just left the other side, but no, they scrubbed it all. Because Genma Uzumaki was something that not only Konoha feared. The name Genma Uzumaki was a name that was purposely scrubbed from history by all the nations. Because it was a name that was so terrifying. Just erasing it would be better. It was a name that rivaled names like Madara Uchiha and some of the most terrifying people to ever walk this earth. To the point that all nations came down to one agreement. They would annihilate it all. Genma Uzumaki and his faction would die with the remainder of the Uzumaki clan. But after all they did, after what happened, it seems like the true savages that the Uzumakis were, they've survived and they've returned. This was bad. Really bad. But guys, be in subscribe right here. If you want to see next part, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.